channel. My name is Nyala. I am a 27-year-old navigating life. So this is my YouTube channel. I've been doing YouTube like years before. I stopped because I really didn't feel like inspired or knowing what to do next, so I really stopped YouTube. So now I'm feeling that inspiration and then just feeling like I can give better videos like of how I want it to look. So we're back on YouTube. You guys are going to see a lot of like down videos. You want to see get ready with me's, weekly vlogs mainly, especially because my life is like so different now. And you just want to see a lot more content from me now. So I'm so excited for this next chapter of my life. So I wanted to make this video because I moved to Miami. So yes, I moved to Miami. It's been a month now. It's been a month. And then we're just gonna rewind back a little bit. Okay, so some of you guys probably are new. Like I said, this is my first YouTube video back. So my name is Nyala. I'm 27 years old. I used to live in Maryland. So I was in Maryland my whole life, since my whole life. And I love Maryland. Where I'm specifically from is Prince George's County, the DMV. So it's a lot of black people doing well, wealthy with money. In school, I've had all black classes, everything like that. So that's just keep that in mind. So what brought me to move to Miami? A year ago, because it's June, so last year, so I used to work at the bank. I'm not gonna name the bank, but I just used to work at the bank. I worked there for 5 years. I loved it. Honestly, I did. I loved the people I would meet at that job, and I loved my coworkers. We had a very tight-knit family dynamic there, so I really loved that, and it made me look at life a lot differently because of the people I would meet. And like I said, we were in a wealthier area, so just a lot of people had money. And most of the people I noticed that had money were older, or if they were younger, they had their own business, either in IT or they had their own business. So that like sparked a fire in me. So working there, I've been there for 5 years. Last year I got a new position. So with that position, I was able to make commissions off of, doing different things for customers, investments or business accounts and things like that. So I had to get licensed. I had to take 4 licensing tests to get into that role, which I eventually passed, thank goodness. But for that time, so it started in like April. So from April to August, April to like end of July, I was studying for those tests. So those tests were, it was 4 different tests, and you have to pass a certain percentage to get to the next test. It's not like you're taking them all at once. So at work, we were able to literally just study that whole time, which was great. It was a great program. You could literally just study all day at work. You didn't have to, like, you had to go to work, but you're in your own room. Nobody's bothering you. You're literally studying for the test. There's classes and everything that you take. So during that time, so I passed the test. I passed all the tests. I got licensed. So that was around August. So around August, I've been in Miami, this is 3 times now. In August, I just got like the sense of, I want to move. I didn't know where. It was just a sense of like, I wanted to move. And in August, going into September, I started looking at positions at the bank. They had branches down here in Miami. So I started looking at positions down here, and then I was looking at apartments down here, because the cost of living is literally almost the same as back in the DMV area. Almost the same. It's a little bit higher in some places, but I was looking at apartments, and then I actually applied to 4 branches down here with the bank. I didn't get approved. I mean, I couldn't relocate because, first of all, the bank would pay you to relocate to other places that are in need of a banker. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. They'll pay me to move, and I just have money from that, and then I could make money down here because there's a lot of wealthy people down here, so I'll definitely be making money. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. I didn't get approved for those. I got denied like a couple days later because I had to be in my role. Since I was new to that role, I had to be in my role for a year. So I'm like, okay. And looking back, I'm like, it's for a reason. So whenever something happens, you have to look at the positive side, like, oh, it's just not my time right now. So at that point, back then, did I look at it like that? I kind of did, because I had that same mindset, but I was a little upset too. So I was working at the branch I was working at till like December. I got another, like, just I call it inklings, like it just pops in my head of like, oh, I want to move to Miami. I told my friends at this point, I told my boyfriend at the time, like, I want to move to Miami. And then I just didn't know like how or when, or just all the reasons, but I just knew I wanted to move. So after that, I kind of forgot about it. And then, so this is January this year, 2026. A lot of stuff was going on, but let's say we'll skip to March a little bit. So me and my boyfriend, I'll bring that up, we've been together for almost 9 years in December this year. It'll be 9 years. I know him since high school, and we got together like a year after I went to college. We got together. So we've been together ever since then. So that's just the background. So we've been together almost 9 years, and we did break up. I'm gonna be transparent, like, we did break up for a month, because at that time I was just really in my head. I'm like, I don't know what I wanted. I know what I want to do in my life, but it didn't look like me being at the bank anymore. I could say that. So I just didn't know how to get to the other side, if that makes sense. So and then I have my own business. I have a hair company. It's called Nxtensions. We sell hair extensions and luxury wigs, custom glueless wigs. So I've had that since 2021 technically. And I wasn't consistent with it because I was in school and I was doing a lot of things that I wasn't really interested in. Like at the time I was studying engineering in school, electrical engineering. I went to Norfolk State for like a year and a half. I transferred to Morgan State so I could be a little bit closer to my boyfriend and back home. I was there for like 4 or 5 years and COVID happened. And I switched my major to civil engineering because I'm like, okay, maybe I would like to have more. And then it just wasn't working out, honestly. And then at that time, after COVID, I had to drive from my house to Baltimore. That was just like an hour drive to work. So it was a lot. So honestly, I stopped school. And that's when I got the banking job and stuff like that. So, I know we're kind of all over the place, but I just want you guys to get like a backstory. So that happened, and yeah, so me and my boyfriend broke up for a month because at that time I was really feeling like I wanted to see where I can be if I was in other positions. And then even in our relationship wise, I wanted more than what I was getting. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I wanted more than what I was getting. So we broke up. We still remain friends. It wasn't a bad breakup or anything. I had a therapist. My therapist helped me so much for a year. So she helped me through that phase, and then my coworkers helped me a lot through that phase. And it was just other things going on as well. So it's like me breaking up with my long-term boyfriend and, kind of just navigating where I want to be in life, where I see myself in life, and, it was other things going on behind the scenes. But all of that combined, it was a lot. So at that time, I did take FMLA from work, and I really needed that time. I'm so grateful I was able to get that because my therapist helped me a lot. I was able to get really like I was able to take time for myself, and I really needed that. And if you are working a 9-to-5 corporate job, if you have FMLA, take it, because that's what it's there for. A lot of people don't know that you have FMLA, and that's family medical leave, but you can also take it for like other than family, like health reasons or mental health. If you need a break, take your FMLA. It's paid, so that helped me too. So that really helped me put a lot of things in perspective because I wasn't going to work at the time, but I was still getting paid. I was still able to go to the gym. I was still able to work on myself and really listen to what I wanted in my life. Not everybody else, because that's another thing. And my therapist helped me a lot with that, is like, you don't need to listen to everybody else in your life. Like, you have your friends, you have your family, your coworkers, blah, 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 blah. But it's your life. They're not in your life. They're a part of your life, but they're not experiencing your life through you, So that's another thing, because like the school aspect, my parents both graduated from school, you know, that's always in the back of my head. My coworkers, most of them had their degrees, so, and the people I'm seeing in everyday life at the bank, they had their degrees and stuff. So that's another thing that was really taking a toll on me too, because like I said, my business, last year, I sold a couple of wigs and still did hair, but I wasn't 100% into it like I am now. So all of that's happened, and that really put a lot of things in perspective for me. So I was like, I really think I can work on my business full time and sustain my lifestyle and be happy. That's the main thing. Like, I look at my life as I want time, freedom, and happiness. Like, if I'm not getting the time, it's not gonna work. If I'm not getting the freedom, it's not gonna work. If I'm not getting the happiness, it's not gonna work. They all three have to come together for me. So with my job, it was like I was literally working 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 some days, or even not even 9 to 6. I had to be there at like 8:30, 8:15, 8 o'clock some days, till almost 6 p.m. some days, because you can't leave the bank until, you know, the last customer leaves and we debrief and stuff like that. So it's like my day's gone. You get up in the morning, you go to work, I come home, I'm tired, first of all, because I'm talking to people all day. You know, I've always told my friends and my boyfriend this stuff, like, I'm tired, like, I'm talking to people all day, like, you get people's energies and stuff like that. It's just, and you're doing a lot, you're making calls. So I would be tired. I would still go to the gym, but I was not working on my business as how I wanted to. And I was not getting that time for myself. Even on the weekends, we would have to work some Saturdays. It was like 9 to 1, but it wasn't, you still going to work, you know. But so all of that took into account of me really taking that time for FMLA. I was off for it was like the 3rd week of March till just Friday. So like all of April, all of May, so maybe like 3 months in total, and I was still getting paid, so I'm thankful for that. But I really needed that time, and I was able to go to Ocean City, which I took time for myself. And I went with my mom. I was gonna go by myself, but that really helped me just like sit and be able to meditate and listen to what I wanted for my life. And then I was able to come to Miami for 2 weeks. I came on a solo trip. My mom came eventually, and then at the time we weren't together, but my boyfriend now came for a couple of days. So yeah, it was very nice. And that trip, that solo trip, I came to Miami, that put a lot of perspective for me, because even before that trip, there's a couple days before, I was just in my house, like, because I've been there since I was young. So I just didn't feel the motivation. Like, I was cleaning up one of the rooms, like I wanted to make it a studio so I can actually, you know, do my work. And I had a whole space in our basement. I'm thankful for my parents, but I had a whole space in the basement to do my hair. But I wasn't doing it. Like, I had that whole space. I had a whole basement to myself, a whole like wash area, and I was doing wigs or hair, but I wasn't doing it like how I'm doing it now, like focusing 100%. So back at home, I was like trying to get, you know, the area, like sometimes you just have to revamp your area to get those ideas, inspirations and stuff. So I was doing that, but like that 2 days before, because the trip was impromptu, mind you. It was an impromptu trip. I left on Monday. I got like I said, I call it inkling, like I just get an idea in my head to go to Miami on Saturday. Like, I cried my eyes out. I was on the floor crying, like someone was just telling me to go to Miami. And I was like, let me just go. Like, let me just go. I was going to stay for a month. But I was like, let me go for 2 weeks. Because first of all, it's my first solo trip. And yeah, so I was like, let me just go for 2 weeks. And I told my mom that next day, it was Sunday, I told her I'm either going to move to Miami or I'm moving out the house when I come back. Because I just felt like I just needed a different environment than what I'm used to. Like, I've been wanting, and then, you know, the thing is, like, I wanted a house and I wanted this and that, but I just really wanted to get out the house. I really needed to move. So I told my mom, like, I'm either going to move down here or I'm moving out when I get back. And she was like, okay. So I literally packed Sunday. This was Saturday night, like 2 a.m. I was on the floor crying. Just something was telling me just go to Miami. I just felt like I needed to move. I just felt like that deeply, like I need to move. So Sunday, I packed up Monday was on the plane, literally. And I was here for 2 weeks. I stayed in the downtown side in an Airbnb. It was a nice Airbnb. I was able to get work content done. I was able to meditate, read books, like cook for myself. I went to the store. Like I was actually moving like if I lived here. Like I went to Whole Foods because I shop at Whole Foods. I went to Whole Foods, get groceries for the week. I wasn't really eating out. Only ate out like probably like 2 times on the weekend. But I went to the gym every day. I was doing content. I was editing content. And then at that time, I had a social media. Yeah, I had a social media manager. So that also helped too. She was editing my content and doing analytics and stuff like that. So all that, now that I look back at it, it prepared me to move down here. And I told myself I was either gonna move down here or move out when I got home. So my mom came down, and then during that trip, he wasn't my boyfriend at the time, but like I said, we still stayed close. We still kind of talked like that, not every day, but we were still in contact. And he came down for a couple of days, and then he was like, I'm gonna move down here. I was like, yeah, me too. I'm like, that's why I came. So yeah, and then during that time that he came, we really talked about it. He's like, we can move down here. Like, mind you, we weren't even together at this point, but he's like, we can move down here. I'm like, we can. And he's a truck driver, so that puts that in perspective. He could literally move anywhere because there's trucking jobs anywhere. So yeah, so we both kind of agreed to it, and then we decided that because he left, this is my last week here, we decided that on Wednesday or like Tuesday. I told my mom came to like on Wednesday, and I told her on like Thursday, Friday. She was down here, but he had left, and my aunt came down. I told my friends on Thursday. We literally moved out on Monday. Literally, like, stuff just happened so fast. And another thing I've learned, so I'm a Virgo, and I know people don't like astrology, but if you look at your birth chart, that really helps put a lot of things in perspective, because you have a rising sign, you have so many different signs. I can't even think of the names right now, but that if you really look at your birth chart, you just need your date of birth and your time of birth, and then where you were born. That puts a lot of things in perspective. It's not just your rising sign. It's a whole lot. So when I looked at that, because I wanted to like dig a little deeper, all of that made so much sense, because like in the past I would procrastinate a lot, but as a Virgo, I don't know what to say, but it makes sense. But as my astrology, I would procrastinate because I want things to be perfect. I want everything to be to a T. I'm detail oriented, so I want everything to a T, or I don't want it right now. So I had to learn, like, I have to move fast, because if I don't, I'm gonna overthink, sit back, and then things are just gonna pass me by. So I move fast now. So that's why everything kind of happened fast, because y'all probably like, what? But that's how everything happened so fast. Like, I told my friends I was moving. I didn't get to see them. Like, it wasn't even a proper on away party or anything like that, because like I literally told them Thursday. I came home that Friday. My flight was Friday. Came back to Maryland Friday. Packed all my stuff Saturday, Sunday, and we moved Monday. So we drove from Maryland all the way down to Miami. It was like it was a long trip, a long drive, but we both drove, and we took his car. I left my car back there because we don't really need a car, but I mean 2 cars right now. But yeah, that's how fast I move. And I feel like everybody should. I mean, it's not for everybody, but for me, I learned I have to move that fast, because if I don't, things are going to pass. Things that are meant for me is going to pass, and I don't want that to happen. So I move fast. I still plan, I think about it, but if I know it's for me, I'm going to take that leap and I'm going to do it. So yeah, we moved down on Monday. No, I didn't. I told my friends, I told my family, but I didn't tell my co-workers, because technically I was still employed, so I didn't want them to know. But yeah, this last Friday I resigned. This is my first time like working 100% for myself. Like, I've always had a job since I was 15, even if it was part-time. This was my first full-time job though, at the bank, but I didn't tell them till I resigned, honestly, because I didn't want, you know, them to know and stuff like that. So yeah, that's me moving to Miami. There's gonna be more details later on. My camera's about to die, so I just want to get that out there. But yeah, we moved to Miami. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy. It's been a great time so far. We've been here a month, but everything's been aligned, falling in line for me, and I'm so happy. And I'm so excited to see where this journey goes. I just wanted to put this out there because I get a lot of questions, and I'm starting my YouTube channel back, so I'm so excited. And I hope you guys stick around for more content and more videos. But I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.